Today, a judge took up the lawsuit by the group trying to recall New Orleans Mayor Cantrell.
And they still have more work to do tomorrow after wrapping up less than an hour ago. The main issue is, are the rolls wrong in New Orleans because too many dead or inactive voters are included?
Alyssa Curtis has been keeping us updated all day from inside of the courtroom, joining us now live with the very latest. Alyssa.
Good evening. That's right. Today was the first day of court hearings regarding the lawsuit filed by the group trying to recall the mayor against the Registrar of Voters and the Secretary of State. The group says they never got a number of how many signatures they need to force that recall. Well, today in court, we learn that number. The number is roughly 50,000 signatures. That's how many signatures they need to force a recall. Now, that number is based off of around 250,000 qualified electors. That 200,000 number was taken the day the petition was filed. The recall group also believes, like you guys mentioned, that those voter rolls are inaccurate. They say that they saw a bunch of people who have either died or moved out of state or out of parish that are still on the voter rolls. Now, in response to the claim that the voter rolls are inaccurate, the Commissioner of Elections, Sherry Haskey, says they have not been provided any information to say otherwise. So she believes from their knowledge that those voter rolls are accurate. They have not gotten any information to believe otherwise. Now, we also learned today that number of qualified electors, of the amount of people, of active voters in Orleans, fluctuates pretty often, almost on actually a quite often basis. Now, there is an annual canvass that happens every year in May, but again, that number of qualified voters fluctuates pretty often. This is what the lawyers for the Registrar of Voters had to say in regards to that.
This is a living and breathing database that changes all the time. So one should not suspect that just because on one month it has a 200,066 number, and on the next month it has a number that's 500 less or 500 more, that somehow means the Registrar of Voters office is not doing their job. That's absolutely wrong.
Now, our WWL TV political commentator Clancy Dubose joins us now to talk about what we learned in court and how the day went. Clancy, what are the biggest takeaways from court today?
Well, the biggest legal takeaway came this morning when the judge ruled against Secretary of State Argwan's office and the Registrar's office. Both defendants filed several motions each to have this case dismissed on various reasons, and the judge rejected all of them and said, we're going forward with this case, and so now we're hearing the evidence. And so far, we've only heard from two witnesses. Both of them were called by the organizers of the recall because they're the plaintiffs and the burden of proof is on them. And I think they have at least one more witness tomorrow. So this could go on for at least one more day, possibly longer.
Yeah, that's right. We will be resuming court again tomorrow. What are you expecting tomorrow?
Well, at least one more witness, probably Betty Thibodeau, the lady who oversaw the, I would call it the outside audit that the organizers of the recall petition commissioned. And her company at least is the one that came up with the numbers of, more than 32,000 people either died, moved out of state, or had some reason why they should not be on the active list. And it was brought out today, and we should emphasize, this is not a purge. This is simply moving people from the active list to the inactive list. All of them can vote. Whether you're active or inactive, you can still vote.
That's right. This is about active versus inactive. They said today in court they are not trying to purge any voters. Again, we will be resuming court again tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're not sure if this will go on a Wednesday, but we will be here tomorrow and bring you, again, all the updates that we can. Reporting live outside the courthouse, Alyssa Curtis, Eyewitness News.